Now, there's a wrestler in GCW called Effie, but I call him Effie LePew. I remember months back, I made a video saying this guy is a weirdo and he is a weird fruitcake. Because this guy was masturbating as Dean Ambrose had him in a headlock, and I said, bruh, that should be banned in pro wrestling. And his fans were telling me that I was wrong. They told me that I was no fun. Okay, so now we know who don't press the like button on my videos. It's people that would have no issue putting Effie in a headlock and allowing him to masturbate as you are putting him in a headlock. Those are weirdos that don't press like button on my videos. You see, the people who do press the damn like button on my videos are the same people that will whoop his ass for masturbating at their expense. That's all I'm saying. Man, this video should be over 100 likes based on that alone, man. Are you a weirdo? Are you not a weirdo? Come on, man. I ain't no damn weirdo, bro. I don't want no man masturbating in front of me in my presence. That's some weirdo shit. You people are just, dog, it's just fake wrestling. What the heck? Now, I was watching Raw last night, and I seen that Carmelo Hayes made his Raw debut, right? And they made him lose in his Raw debut as the current NXT World Champion. I thought that was weird, and especially that match was in the mid-card. But what mind-boggled my mind was this was the same thing they did to Karrion Kross. And you know how that ended, right? I know there's marks that want to say, oh, that was Vince McMahon. He runs the show, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't get it. When you read dirt sheets, why do you take it as a fact? That's the weird part, but it's crazy. You want to believe your own fucking narrative. Whatever fits your narrative, that has to be true, right? Even though Vince McMahon said it with his own mouth on TV. He said Triple H runs everything. He is the head of creative, meaning he said Triple H gets the final say. He gets the final word, which means Vince McMahon, he gives Triple H an idea, Triple H has to sign off on it. So by your logic, that was a Triple H move to have Carmelo Hayes lose. It might have been a Vince McMahon idea, but how come Triple H signed off on it? Triple H could have said no, but Triple H said yes. Let's have him lose. Once again, Triple H runs everything, right? Okay, how come Ciampa is back to being Ciampa? He no longer has The Miz. That seems like a Triple H move. Last time I checked, that's Raw, right? That's Raw business. That's a Raw storyline now. The Miz versus Ciampa. So yes, Triple H still runs everything. Like I said, Vince McMahon gives ideas, but Triple H has the final word to veto those said ideas. He's the head of creative. What part of that don't you understand? Listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, Raw sucked. There has to be all Vince McMahon. And then next week, if the show is good, then you say, oh, that's all Triple H. Bruh, that's your opinion. That's just a matter of opinion if you think a show sucks, right? You can't blame, oh, that's Vince. Oh, that's Triple H. Bruh, at the end of the day, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is the head of creative. So the whole point I'm trying to make is it's not looking good for Carmelo Hayes. Like I said, he's not a Triple H guy. He would have never done that to Adam Coleslaw. That's all I'm saying. That was a weird move because both guys can't lose. Finn Balor can't lose. Carmelo Hayes cannot lose. So why do the match? I feel like Carmelo Hayes should have faced a regular mid-card guy and not Finn Balor. Finn Balor literally cannot lose. I thought the match was going to be a DQ finish because both guys cannot lose. But the point is, yes, the match was solid. The match was good, but that's not the point. He still lost. He's the current champion for a brand. He's the face of a brand. And they made him lose. Just like Karrion Kross. In fact, hold on. This was worser. Right? This was worse than Karrion Kross losing in his debut match on Raw. Right? Because Karrion Kross, he lost to Jeff Hardy, but he got rolled up. So that was a fluke win. This was no fluke. Carmelo Hayes, he got beat clean by Finn Balor. That was a clean win. Karrion Kross, that was a fluke win. Jeff Hardy rolled him up as the current NXT champion. So now I'm looking, wow, years later, yes, Carmelo Hayes, that was a worse loss. This is not good. And like I said, Trick Williams will be a bigger star. I feel like the main roster looks at Trick Williams as a bigger star. But this was on the level of Karrion Kross kind of burial. I'm sorry, this was a low-key burial. Finn Balor, he sunned him. He got sunned by Finn Balor. That match proved to me Carmelo Hayes is not on this level. That's what they were trying to tell you with that loss. It was weird because he had no Trick Williams. He was by himself. So this was a sink or swim kind of moment for him. This is what they did to Karrion Kross. When Karrion Kross made his Raw debut, he was by himself. He did not have his wife. And I felt like that was weird. This was the same thing. He had no Trick Williams by his side. So they were saying was, okay, are you over without Trick Williams? Are you good without Trick Williams? Is Trick Williams your whole act? Look, I feel like Trick Williams made this guy. Look, Trick Williams was the guy that made Carmelo Hayes a star. These are facts, not an opinion. Trick Williams was the guy that changed Carmelo Hayes' attitude to being what he is right now. That's all Trick Williams. So how the fuck can you say Carmelo Hayes is better? He's not better. Trick Williams made this guy. At first, he was a bland, generic guy until he met Trick Williams. Trick Williams made this guy to a star. He gave him his current gimmick and attitude. This current act is all Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick. Trick Williams will be a bigger star. Hence why we didn't see him in Carmelo Hayes' corner last night. I've been saying it for months. Trick Williams is a bigger star. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was trolling. Where are you at now? You seem silent. Right? Like I said, I'm always right. You people are silent now. Okay? I gave you facts. I gave you Carmelo Hayes' future. I said he's not going to be a fucking star. If he was, why did he lose in his debut as a champion of NXT? Dude, he lost in his debut one day before his big title match against Baron Corbin. That is unheard of. I felt like that was a burial. I don't care if it was a good match. That's a fucking burial. He got sunned. He made it seem like, bruh, You are not ready for the big league, son. That's how Finn Balor saw him. Finn Balor is not a champion. Let that sink in. Carmelo Hayes is the current champion of NXT. Balor is not a champion. And yet Balor beat him in like what? 10 minutes? 8 minutes maybe? That's crazy, dude. How can we take Carmelo Hayes seriously after that? How is that not a burial? How can you take him seriously after that? He got beat clean one day before his title match against Baron Corbin. How is that not a burial in your eyes? But you told me Carmelo Hayes will be a star, and I said no, he is not. The main roster don't see him that way. They see Trick Williams as the big money guy. He's 6'4", 230. He works well in the ring. He's getting better and better and better. Trick Williams, look, he reminds me of a young Booker T. That's what they see in him. They see him as the next Booker T. Carmelo Hayes, I'm sorry, he might be the next Ricochet. So I'm facts. He might be the next Ricochet. Listen, fun fact. Braun Breaker is undefeated on Raw. And now, Melo Hayes is not undefeated on Raw. So that's just going to show you who they value as a bigger star. How come Braun Breaker is undefeated on Raw? Melo Hayes lost in his debut. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate the guy. I don't hate him. I feel like he's solid, but you marks need to stop overhyping him. He will be set up for failure. If you hype him up, he will be a failure. Like I said, he's not a Triple H guy. There's no way in hell that Triple H would make Ciampa lose in his debut as his champion of NXT. There's no way that would happen. That was crazy. That was weird booking. You can't blame everything on Vince McMahon. If Vince said Triple H has the final word on creative, if this was a Vince McMahon idea, Triple H has to sign off on it. But overall, what do I think about Carmelo Hayes? I feel like he's solid, but he is massively overhyped. Massively overhyped, bruh. It's like, do I think he's better than Montez Ford? Hell no. It's like, you stop overhyping this guy. He is going to fail if you keep on doing it. You will be sadly disappointed. Who are you going to blame for, Triple H or Vince? If Triple H has the final word, he has the final decision on creative. That was a Triple H move to have Carmelo Hayes lose. You know why? Triple H don't give a shit about NXT anymore. He don't care. Dude, how come at first Triple H was calling NXT a third brand? Now he's saying that brand is nothing more than developmental. You know why? He don't give a fuck about NXT anymore. He don't care about it. Hence why Carmelo Hayes lost. But if Trick Williams was on the main roster, there's no way Trick will lose in his debut match. You know why? They value him more. He's 6'4". He's swole. He's fucking jacked. He has a great look. He's a great talker. He has tons of charisma. What is there not to like about him? He is what they are looking for. Not Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, he's a Shawn Michaels guy. Just like J.D. McDonough. Both guys are Shawn Michaels guys. What happened to J.D. McDonough? Where is he? Like JD McDonough hasn't done shit on the main roster. See what I'm saying? You can't blame everything on Vince McMahon, right? Let's talk about last week. Didn't they get rid of the women's titles from NXT? Whose move was that? That was on SmackDown. Whose idea was that? They got rid of the women's titles from NXT. They got rid of the women's tag team titles from NXT. And those girls got dominated by Shayna and Ronda Rousey. Those girls were from NXT. See what I'm saying? There's a pattern here. That's a huge pattern. So last week, they got rid of the women's titles from NXT. And they gave them to Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. And now, this week, they made Carmelo Hayes lose. So, you gotta keep that same energy. Whose idea was that? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, when something's bad, it has to be Vince McMahon. When something's good, it gotta be Triple H. Okay, so by your own logic, why did they get rid of the women's NXT tag team titles last week? Listen, Isla Dawn and Emma Fire, they got dominated by Ronda Rousey. You know what I'm saying? That was a Triple H move. It's like, why are you, Mark, so obsessed with Vince McMahon? It's fucking weird. It's like you were in denial. It's like, what part of Hunter Hearst Helmsley is the head of creative do you not understand? It's like, wow, when it's up, you blame Triple H. When it's down, you gotta blame Vince. That's fucking weird. That means Triple H walks on water. He can't do anything bad. But the point is, I told you, Carmelo Hayes will not be a star. What do I think about Carmelo Hayes overall? Like I said, I think he's overhyped. I feel like his promos are very overrated. It's like I feel like his catchphrase is so generic and just so overrated. I don't like his promos, man. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I do not like his promos. I feel like his promos come across as kind of forced. Like he talks like a robot. Like he says, I am him, and there's nobody that can stop Carmelo Hayes. My future is now. It's not in the present. It's not in the past. My future is now. So I'm like, yo, it's because I am him, and there's nobody that can stop Carmelo Hayes. I am the A champion. I am the greatest of all time on this brand. When it comes to this brand, I have been a face of this brand since day one because I am him. I'm like, bruh, you sound like a robot. It's like, I don't believe what you are saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. But I was proven right. You people thought I was crazy. You thought I was trolling when I said Trick Williams will be a bigger star than Carmelo Hayes. When Melo gets called to the main roster, he will be a mid-card guy, not a main eventer. It's like, don't get fooled. It's like people love to drink the Kool-Aid from NXT. Now, Braun Breaker, that guy is a main eventer. Carmelo Hayes is not a main eventer. He is a, solid mid-card guy, but he would not be a star on the main roster. And I said this months ago on YouTube. I said Carmelo Hayes, he's too successful in NXT. People who are that successful never do good on a main roster. He's too fucking successful. He has won all other titles. Seriously. He's won the Cruiserweight title. He's won the North America title, the World title. He's won every title. He won the Breakout Tournament. It's like he has won everything. He has handed everything. Once he gets to the main roster, that's going to change. And I said it. I said, once he goes to the main roster, that's going to change. He's too successful. They will humble him on the main roster. As I said, he will be humbled. That's it. I'm done.